Alright, so what we're looking at right now is we're looking at how to multiply using an abacus, and we're looking at multiplication with nines. Alright, so the example I'm going to go through is example is 41 times 9. Alright, and we're going to be using the abacus to solve this. So the first thing is a basic understanding of what your abacus is. So an abacus is a way of keeping track of numbers, adding, subtracting, and it goes up by tens, or it's multiples of tens. So like the first one would be 10 to the 0 power, which is 1, then it's 10 to the first, 10 to the second, 10 to the third, 10 to the fourth, 10 to the fifth, and so on and so forth. So this first column, this green one, is ones place, the next one is the tens place, and then it's the 100s place, and then it's the 1000s place, and then it keeps going up. Okay. And what you're going to do is that when you slide one of these green ones, so if you slide this green one over, right, it would represent 1. If you slide this green one and this orange one, it would represent 101. Right. So the first thing we're going to do is that we're going to want to find 41. All right, since we have 41 times 9. So we want to find 41 with this. So what we're going to do is in the tens column, we're going to move 4 over because there's 4 tens, and then we're going to move 1 in the ones column. All right. So there gives us our 41. Now when we're multiplying by 9, so 41 times 9, what we're going to be doing is that we're going to go 41 times 10, and then we're going to be subtracting off 41. And that's what we're going to be doing to solve this. So the first thing that we have to do is multiply that by 10. Well, using an abacus, it's easy to multiply it by 10 because all you have to do is move each of these up one. You slide them up one row, and that gives you your number. So 41 times 10, most people know how to do this, it's 410. So if you slide it up, we'd have 4 in the 100s, and 1 in the 10s, and 0 in the next one. So you've moved it up one. Now once we have that, we have to subtract out our 41. So the first thing we're going to do is that we're going to move this 10 over. Okay, so we're going to be subtracting 10. So we move this 10 over, we're down to 400. Okay, so we still have to subtract out 31. Now if you look, let's move another 10 over, you see we're out of tens. So what you're going to have to do now is that when you're out of tens, you move one of the hundreds over, and then you move all of the tens over. So when you slide one from a higher row back to the right, you've got to move all of them from the row below back to the left. So here we would move this one over, and we'd move, or the orange one over, we'd move this one over, and then we'd move all 10 of these back to the other side. All right. So it looks something like that. As you see, we still have 400 by the number up on top. And now we're going to be subtracting out, we still have to subtract out 31, so we're going to be moving 3 more 10s over. So 1, 2, 3. So we're going to move those over. Now, when we do that, we're going to be left with what looks something like that. Now, what do we still have to subtract out? We still have that 1 from the 41. Okay, we've moved a 40 over. We've already subtracted 40. So now we have to subtract the last one. Well, as you see, we don't have anything in the tens. So what we have to do is that we're going to have to do what we did previously. We're going to move one of these over, right, and then we're going to move all these over. Right. Now when we move all those over, we subtract 1, which would be this one, would stay on the right side. And that gives us what looks something like this, which if we were to count these, in the hundreds we have 3, in the tens we have 6, and the last one, and the ones, we have 9. So our answer would be 369. And that's using an abacus to help us find these numbers. Now you can check this by hand if you want. If you like multiplying by hand, and you see we get the same number. So that's using the abacus to help us multiply numbers by 9. And you can do this multiplying by 11 and other numbers. And this works for any double digit. Almost any number multiplied by 9 you can do this with.